Leanne, we're here. Are you ready for your 74 questions with a wedding planner?
So ready.
How are you today?
Well, I'm doing great. It's really cold but sunny, so that makes me happy.
Awesome. Let's dive right in. How long have you been planning weddings?
This is my 11th year planning weddings.
What's your company called?
We are called You Name It Events.
What's your home base?
We are out of Geneva, Illinois, which is actually where we are right now.
Do you only do weddings?
No, we do all sorts of social events, some corporate, some nonprofit, and then we kind of joke that we'll do any event people will pay us to do.
Where's the best place to start when searching for a planner?
Most people just start on Google. Some people look for recommendations on Facebook, ask friends and family. You could also find your first good vendor and then ask them for their network. And then, of course, you can always start by hiring a great planner who will have a good network of vendors for you too.
That sounds great. So when reaching out to a planner, what should you be looking for first?
In my opinion, the thing that matters most is fit. You want to make sure that you get along with each other, you actually enjoy working together, because you end up spending a lot of time together over the planning process.
Do you handle hiring vendors, their contracts, and making payments?
We help our clients do that, but their contracts are always directly with their vendors. So when it comes to payments, we also help with reminders and things like that, but ultimately you will always pay your vendor directly.
We coordinate delivery, arrival, and setup times with my vendors on my wedding day.
We certainly help with that. One of the things that makes that easy is we help you with your wedding day timeline, which can be really stressful to put together. Once we get that all worked out, we share that information with all the vendors and then manage the day based on that timeline.
Does my planner usually help with invitations from working on and ordering them to the addressing and mailing?
Some do, some don't. So if that's something you want help with, you always want to ask when you're working to hire a planner.
How about guest list coordination and RSVPs?
So some planners help with that and some don't. So if that's something that you want help with, definitely ask about it ahead of time.
I'm super curious about this, but how many meetings will I have with my planner?
So we do as few as 2 meetings with our coordination clients up to unlimited meetings with our full planning clients.
How many weddings have you planned?
Over 400 at this point, but I've kind of lost count.
How many other weddings will you be planning during a single client's planning process?
So we usually have anywhere from 15 to 20 people planning actively in a normal year.
How many weddings will you do in one day?
We usually do up to 3, depending on what our staffing looks like. We always want to make sure we have enough people on our team that are qualified to do a great job for our folks.
What did you have for lunch today?
So far, nothing, but I'm getting kind of hungry, so we're going to figure that out pretty soon.
What's your favorite movie?
I love romantic comedies, so Dirty Dancing, Sweet Home Alabama, Pretty Woman, anything like that.
What did you last watch on Netflix?
I will rewatch any episode of Schitt's Creek anytime. Usually that's my go-to before bed.
What's next in your queue?
I want to watch Cobra Kai because I loved Karate Kid when I was younger, but I just haven't had a chance to sit down and do that yet.
What's your favorite color?
I like any color except purple. Not a fan of purple.
All right, let's swing back to some more wedding questions. What happens if you get sick or are otherwise unable to be there on the day of my wedding?
So we have a team of other coordinators, and we also organize all of our wedding information the same way for every event. So if I needed to, I could call someone in and they would easily be able to get up to speed and run things for me.
Does it matter if you've worked at my venue before?
Not to me, because we do a walkthrough as part of the planning process. But if it's important to you, you can always ask your planner that question.
What's the most unique wedding you've ever planned?
So one of my favorites was a wedding that we did in Western Michigan on the shores of Lake Michigan in a clear top tent. It was really beautiful.
What's your secret to staying cool, calm, and collected under pressure?
So somehow I just do not worry in those cases. Instead, I skip right to problem solving, and that helps a lot.
What do you like to do when you're not planning weddings?
I like to hang out with my sisters and my niece and nephews. They're really fun.
If you could live anywhere in the world, where would you live?
I'd probably take everyone I love to Spain, and we would live there.
Next question. Do you do destination weddings?
Of course, I love to travel.
Where's the best place to read planner reviews or testimonials?
Most people check out The Knot or Wedding Wire for reviews. I'll also just Google. There's a lot of great reviews on Google too.
How do payments to you work?
So we take a 50% deposit at the start of planning, and the final 50% is due a month before the wedding.
Should I find out if my vendors have insurance?
If it's important to you, you should definitely ask. Most professional vendors should at least have liability insurance, but there's also a separate kind of insurance called event insurance, and if you're interested in that, you should look into that on your own.
Could I bother you for a glass of water?
Of course.
Do I need event insurance?
I certainly recommend it. I think anytime where you're spending a lot of money, you should probably look into insurance.
What would your superhero power be?
If I had to pick one, I would probably choose to be able to fly.
What's your favorite snack?
I like anything salty, followed by anything sweet, followed by anything salty.
What's your favorite animal?
Probably something that swims, maybe dolphin or a whale.
What about pets?
I don't have any, but if I did, I would probably have a dog.
What subject were you not good at in school?
I'm not great at math. I love calculators.
If you were stranded on an island, what would you choose to take with you?
I would bring the book Gone with the Wind because I love it and read it usually every couple of years.
What is the average size of a wedding you typically plan?
Most of our clients invite 150 to 250 guests.
What should I do if I need to postpone my wedding?
Reach out to all of your vendors first before reconfirming your new date, just to make sure they're all still available. It's really hard to get a call or an email from a client that wants to move dates on a date that we're already booked.
Can I pick all my vendors I want, or do I have to choose vendors you've worked with before?
So we let our clients choose any vendor they like, but some vendors or venues have restrictions, so definitely look into that before you sign your contracts.
How do I decide which vendors to hire?
Well, I would pick based on fit and personality, but you also want to consider budget, portfolio, all of those types of things.
Who is your favorite videographer?
Is that a trick question?
What have you been working on during the pandemic?
So we've been working on a bunch of projects, launching a YouTube channel, launching a podcast, and some other cool stuff that hopefully you'll see real soon.
What book can you read over and over again?
Oh, for me, Gone with the Wind. I usually read it every couple of years.
Do you have any weird superstitions?
Actually, no, I'm not a very superstitious person.
What would you do if you were invisible for a day?
Oh man, I think I would probably take money from all the people who are super rich and give it to people who are poor.
What's the most important wedding decision?
So I think your venue is actually your most important decision because so much else is determined by that.
If you could sit next to anyone on a plane, who would you choose?
Oh man, right now, maybe Kamala Harris. See how she's doing with being the new VP.
What's the craziest thing you've seen at a wedding?
So one time we had a guest that was so drunk and refused to let her friends take her car keys from her. So we actually had to call the police so she wouldn't drive drunk. That was a little crazy.
Do you have a favorite venue?
I don't think I do. I think I have favorites in each category, but there's so many good ones out there and they're so different. It's impossible to choose a favorite.
Do you work alone or with other people on the wedding day?
So of course we collaborate with your other vendors, but we also have a minimum of 2 people on our wedding day teams.
What is the hardest part about being a wedding planner?
For me, honestly, the schedule is really demanding. We work most weekends, most weekdays, and a lot of evenings as well.
What is your favorite part about planning weddings?
Honestly, the people. It's really fun to get to know clients and vendors along the way.
If you had to change careers now, what would you change to?
I would probably change to something like interior design.
What did you used to want to be when you grew up?
When I was younger, I wanted to be an elementary school teacher.
Do you come to the wedding rehearsal?
We do. Someone from our team will come to the rehearsal. It might not always be me, but someone will always join.
Are the media portrayals of wedding planners true?
Not in my experience. They're usually kind of flashy and don't really show the actual work that is required.
If you had a time machine, what time period would you travel to?
Right now, I'm most interested in the Bridgerton days. That's probably where I would go.
What makes you feel old?
Every time a new social media platform comes out and I have to learn it.
Where can we see more of your work?
All of our stuff is on Instagram, Facebook, and our website.
What's your favorite season?
I love all four seasons. In particular, I love living a place that has them all.
What's your favorite sport to play or watch?
I'm a huge baseball fan. I love the Cubs and Wrigley Field.
What is your best tip for couples when planning their wedding day?
Honestly, you just need to relax and enjoy the day. Focus on the people and not all the little things that might go wrong, because chances are something will go wrong.
Do you believe in aliens?
I don't really care either way.
What's your sign?
I'm a Leo.
What's your favorite part about each wedding day?
I love the small moments when things are calm for a minute. One of my favorites is just before the processional. I also love at the end of the night when folks are dancing and enjoying their time together.
Is there anything you can tell your clients not to do for their wedding?
Honestly, I think the biggest thing you don't want to do is focus on other people's expectations. It's more important to just plan a wedding that reflects you and your partner.
What's your drink order at a wedding?
I'm a Captain and Coke girl.
What's your favorite holiday?
I love the 4th of July. I love fireworks and barbecues and being outside.
What's your most treasured possession? The one you save in a fire?
I have a ring from my grandma that is my favorite thing I own.
Where will your next travels take you?
I'm going to Houston to visit my cousin in May for her birthday.
Where's your next event going to be?
We're going to be at Company 251 in Aurora.
Pizza or tacos?
Yes.
What are you most excited for about this year?
I'm looking forward to seeing how all the projects we're working on come together.
Leanne, thanks so much for answering all these questions. Have a great day.
That was so much fun. Thanks for coming by. Take care.